Hey everyone, my name is Steven, and every single month I help you stay grounded and focused through mindfulness and movement. So, the topic of this month's Heart Mind Moment is reinventing ourselves. I think that if we live long enough, we're going to have the opportunity to reinvent ourselves. And reinventing ourselves is basically adapting to change, right? Course correcting, making a change, moving in a different direction. And that can be a really exciting thing and can also be scary at times too. But we get to choose how we view the moment that we're in. And it's been in my experience that sometimes what can prevent us from reinventing ourselves or changing course can be fear. I was listening to a podcast this morning. No, I was listening to an audiobook. And one of the things that the author said was that we are hardwired to keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And that to disrupt that process, to disrupt that program, it can be jarring, it can be dysregulating. And so I think that is enough for a lot of people to decide, no, I'm not going to change. I'm going to try to stay the same, or I'm not going to go into this new direction because that's scary. It takes a lot of courage to reinvent ourselves. So if you are in the process of reinventing yourselves, I just want to applaud you because I know how challenging it can be. Because I'm in the process of reinventing myself as well. So a year ago, my ex-husband and I split. We are now divorced. It is a new year, and I find myself starting to dip my toe back into the whole dating scene. And I signed up for a few online dating platforms, and I really do feel like I'm reinventing myself because the Steven who is putting himself out there is very different from the Steven who put himself out there well over a decade ago when I first entered the online dating scene and eventually met my ex-husband. So as I build these bridges, make these contacts, have these conversations, I get to choose how I move through those moments. And what I love about this process of reinventing myself is that ultimately what's happening for me is I'm just becoming more and more of who I am. More and more of who I am and less of who I used to be or who I thought I needed to be or who I think you might want me to be. I'm becoming more of who I am. And there's something incredibly fulfilling and liberating when we become more and more of who we are, because then I feel like it takes less energy to just be yourself, to truly just be yourself instead of doing the right steps, saying the right lines that we think others want us to recite and become this caricature or this other version of ourselves, but not really the authentic person that is within. So it's an interesting experience reinventing oneself. And if you are doing that, or if you're about to, or you're thinking about it, you feel this energy leading you in that direction, I just want to remind you to give yourself a lot of grace. Give yourself a lot of grace as you do this brave thing, which is to change, which is to evolve, which is to grow. So the exercise that I want to offer you today is a Qigong exercise from the 5-element flow series, and it's the flowing movement for the wood element and for the liver and the gallbladder, and it's called Tree Sways in the Wind. The liver is connected to our creativity. So in order to reinvent ourselves, it takes a certain level of creativity as well as resilience, perfect blend of strength and flexibility to not break when the winds of change blow against us, right? We want to be able to move with it and stand strong and tall with deep roots. So standing with your legs about hip-width apart, soften your knees, and you're just going to round your arms in front of you. You'll turn from your waist to one side. You'll float the arms up along the side of your body. So with the arms above your head, your fingertips are hovering over your crown center. Face forward, and then you open your arms out and down. So as you rotate to the other side, take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold your breath for a moment, face forward. Exhale, open your arms out and down. I like to envision myself as a tall tree, and that my roots are firmly into the earth, and I'm drawing energy up through my roots, all the way up through my branches and leaves. And then as I open my arms, it's like the fullness of my tree. Big, bushy, bright, tall, strong, resilient. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more to each side. One more time. Good, and just lower the arms down and round them slightly in front of you, and just close your eyes for a moment. And just notice what you feel. And relax. Beautiful, everyone. I hope you found this conversation and this exercise very nourishing for you and helping you as you reinvent yourself. So before I let you go, I just want to let you know about a few of the things that I'm offering. First of all, SWE Studio is my membership community. It's affordable, accessible wellness content on demand. It meets you wherever you're at on your wellness journey. And then there are my one-on-one sessions, which are a more personalized wellness experience targeting your specific needs. And then lastly, my book, Recovering You, Soul Care and Mindful Movement for Overcoming Addiction. You know, most of us are somehow touched by addiction, whether it's ourselves or someone in our lives that we care about. And one of the things that's really important as we move through those challenging times is self-care. And sometimes self-care gets put on the back burner when we're in crisis, but self-care is so important. So this book is a self-care guide for handling the tough things in life. So all the details are below. Check it out. And I just want to thank you for joining me again for another month of Heart Mind Moments. And I'll see you all again really soon.